Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Hi, my name is Robert Hollis. I want to thank you very much for getting on this Periscope here. And, if you want more information, you can check me out at lifemechanic.com. Lifemechanic.com. Used to be a broke auto mechanic from North Dakota. Now I'm a life mechanic, and I help teach people how to be able to become happy and successful. So the title for the show today is Customers. How important is customers? Now, one of the things I want each and every one of you to know is that if you haven't been successful in any kind of affiliate or direct sales or network marketing, the one unique thing that I have is I was taught by mentors over 28 years ago. And they did business really, 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 really different. And what's amazing is why I'm bringing that up is there's a lot of legal things that are happening right now to network marketing companies because the emphasis is falling off of customers. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of references so you know for a fact that I'm telling the truth here. Is that, 28 years when I got involved in a company called NSA. At that time, it was called National Safety Associates. And guess what? We were selling water filtration, bottled water for 3 cents a gallon. Before there was bottled water out there. It just started. And so what was so amazing about that concept is that, walking up to people and telling them, hey, listen, you know what? You got to have a water filter in your home. Well, if you're not a salesperson telling them about granular activated carbon, and see, people always get into facts and facts and facts and facts, and they try to be salespeople. And Ralph Nader said that, 1 pound of granular activated carbon is like the same absorption rate as 66 football fields, and everyone would get into these sales, and really, bottom line, what it came down to is people would say, listen, my grandpa's not dead. I'm not dead. My kids are okay. We don't need water filtration. See, there was just no way to get them. And so back then, 28 years ago, we had this whole concept called the puppy dog. See, it's the whole concept. If you guys haven't heard it, it's really showing how far we go back in time here. But the whole concept is you give somebody a puppy, let them play with it, let them cuddle it. It's funny. I think I seen something on Fallon, Jimmy Fallon, where, you try to answer very important questions while they give you puppies. Hi, Lorianne. And it's like, it's impossible. These people just freak out because they got all these little puppies on them. They're trying to answer questions. And you're just like in, I guess, love or emotion overload. If any one of you ever look at my wife's Facebook page, there's about probably 30%, if not 50% of her posting puppies and dogs, right? And so the whole concept was simple. You would say to people, listen, do me a huge personal favor. I know that you've never heard that phrase. And do me a huge personal favor. Would you try this system out? Thanks again for all the hearts, tapping on the hearts. Yeah, I guess tapping on the screen. Yeah, and that gives me hearts. Thank you. And one of the things that's amazing is that you would say, do me a huge favor. Would you just try the filter out? Would you try the water filter out? And what you would do is you allow them and tell them to make their coffee with it, make their Kool-Aid, whatever with it, cook with it, because it was 3 cents a gallon, and the filter lasts for 3 years. So, just try it out. See if there was a difference. And then when you come back and people notice the difference after trying the filter out for, sometimes 3 days to a week, you would come back and say, do you want to buy the water filtration system retail or wholesale? Now, I know that all of you are going, wow, you know what I mean? Wholesale, of course. And then you would share with them the business opportunity. But only after, listen to me closely, only after they were a satisfied customer. Now, I know this is going to cause a lot of riffraff out there, but I want you guys to understand a couple incredible things. See, I was taught from day one, which was, from a guy named Jeff Roberti, a guy named Bill Gould, a guy that was taught through Larry Thompson, Larry Huff that just recently passed, and then Jim Rohn, and then Earl Shove. And if you guys can really understand this part, and I'll tell you why it was important, is because back in the day, 28 years ago, it cost $5,000 to get involved in a company. It didn't cost $29 or free. Are you kidding me? It was $5,000 with tax and freight, over $5,200. UPS truck would pull up in your garage, your house, fill your garage full of water filters, unless you were silly like me and lived in an apartment. And then you used it for furniture. You used it for a TV stand. And some of you think I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. You know what I mean? So one of the things that you had to do to get someone to make a decision for over $5,000 is they had to believe in the product. And so back in the day, it was really unique because even with Herbalife, New Skin, Amway, these very large companies, the only people that got to order from the company were people that were direct distributors that did over $5,000 in volume in a calendar month. This is not accumulated volume. This is in 1 month, and it had to be in a calendar month. So, man, if you got in like on the 3rd week of the month, you're in trouble. You know what I mean? You almost had to wait and start the beginning of the month. But I'm giving you some old school facts. I just want you to understand that, if you listen to some of the pros, Jeff Roberti, believe it or not, if you, Google his name, I know there's some interviews out there with Eric Worre. You probably can find it on networkmarketing.com and then click on archives up in the back and try to search for Jeff Roberti interview. I know that Jeff Roberti's got it on his page too. And when Eric Worre interviewed him, here's a guy, and listen to this. He's made over $80 million in commissions. $80 million in commissions. And he right now overrides almost 1 million satisfied customers that buy the product every single month. Month after month, month after month, month after month. Now, please listen to this. Companies go up and down. Leaders go from company to company to company to company. If you build a loyal, satisfied customer base, Jeff Roberti has been with the same company now over 25 years. 25 years. I have to say 28 because that's when I started. So he's with the same company. Now listen to this. Today is called Juice Plus, and I'm not pitching you on the company. I'm pitching you on the importance of customers, all right? And then we're going to get talking about some things that are happening recently right now. So Jeff Roberti, still to this day, and when Eric Worre was talking to him, he would say to people, listen, and come up with something short. It's not sales. You guys got to get away from sales. You got to help people and find out what they want. And so Jeff Roberti's got one pill, I think, that, is supposed to be your vegetables, and the other one is supposed to be for your fruit. And so in Juice Plus, Jeff Roberti would just walk up to people and say, hey, listen, do you know the importance, or have you heard the importance of having vegetables and fruits in your diet? Yeah. Do you think that you get the recommended allowance that you should have every day? No. And he'd say, listen, here's a couple of bottles. I'd love you to try the product out. And listen, only if it works and you feel a result from the product, I will talk to you about whether you want to get it at wholesale, or if you're interested in sharing me some people that you think might be interested in the business. And Eric hits him front level. You can listen to him. So this is a guy that's been doing customers, that taught me, that learned from his upline forever. Now, what are the companies that do this? Only the companies that do $5 billion every year. There's all these companies out there right now that are saying, we're going to be the next $1 billion company. come over and get involved with us. And they recruit, and everyone's doing this recruiting thing. Get in, before it explodes, get in before it disappears, and everyone's doing that, and no one is paying attention to customers at all. So while people keep going from company to company to company, you got these individuals that are sitting with companies over 28 years that make $2 or $3 or $4 million a year on a customer base of almost 1 million people that are using the product every time. Now, here's a philosophy, and for those of you that know me, I've been preaching this from day one. Why? Because I get taught that. And I get involved in companies, and I actually have other leaders in there in the same company that fight me. Oh, they fight me. Listen, you got to sell packages. You got to sell packages. You got to sell packages. And I'm going to give you two philosophies. Whether you listen to me or not is totally up to you. But I'm telling you, it's true. So let me give you two examples, really simple example. The first one is selling packages, getting you in, for 1,000, getting you in for 5,000, getting you in for 1,200, these packages. If you turn around and tell somebody the reason they need to look at a business is because they're going to make money. Oh my, you got to get in. People are making money. You get 5, they get 5, that you get 5, you got 125, 625. These people come in. You're a gazillionaire. Get in, man. Now you're going to be able to quit your job in 90 days. Don't worry about it. Just get in. Well, now when people turn around and buy that much product, now don't get me wrong here, but I'm being serious. Who needs a 5-year supply of anything? People are buying years of supplies of their own personal use, right? And so now they get in, and here's the unfortunate thing. And a lot of you that are watching this Periscope are guilty of this. You're 100% guilty of this. And see, you won't follow the instructions of people that are successful. You won't do what mentors tell you to do. You won't keep it simple. You won't keep it so it duplicates. So because people get involved in our profession and they don't listen and follow a simple system to plug people in, and they try to be the deal, they try to be salespeople, they try to fact people to death, fact, and they try to sell people, and they try to do that and that. When a person doesn't make money after 30 days, then they start questioning. One seed of doubt and they're out. And they say, well, we invested this money, we're going to stay in. Then they stay in for 60 days and they don't make any money. That does not mean the business doesn't work. It's that most people, like 99% of people, don't listen. They don't follow instructions. They don't jump in. They don't know what they want. They don't want it bad enough. They don't believe in themselves. There's a lot of reasons why people fail in anything in life. But here's the point. When they go into 90 days and they still haven't made money because they weren't listening to what they were supposed to do, they came in the business because of money. They came in the business because of money. That's what you told them. So now when they're not making money, now guess what? They're mad at you. They're mad at your upline. They're mad at the company. They're mad at the product. Now, they go off auto ship because they already have a year or 2 year supply. That is not a satisfied customer. So there's always this debate out there, which I can beat anybody on this debate, on whether you should be focused on bringing people in because of the business, or should you be bringing people in based on the customers. So now watch this. You do it just the other way, and I know you already know where I'm going. So you do like the Jeff Birdies do. Don't listen to me. Listen to someone that's made almost triple what I've made. All right? And so he says, listen, I'm not going to share with you the business until you become a satisfied customer. So here's the product. Try the product out. Do you want it at retail or wholesale? You know what? It's 100% money back guarantee. And you're right. Everyone's looking for the shortcut, and so he gets them hooked on the product. Now, I used to say this in 3 previous companies that I was with. And this is a documented study. You can look on the internet. Everyone knows this thing called the placebo effect. The placebo effect, which basically means now is anywhere between a 15 to 12% of people get a placebo effect. Well, why does placebo work? Is because they believe the product's working for them. So because they believe and thoughts are things and faith is things, they actually feel better. They get good results. They got more energy. They sleep better. And they 1,000% believe it. Then you got the other people that are getting good results from the product. Now, if you bring them in, again, doing it the right way, they become loyal, satisfied customers that love the product. They love the product. They love the product. Then when you introduce them to the company and the opportunity, they're product people first. You see what I mean? So now, let's say they're the same person. They don't plug in. They don't go to the meetings. They don't follow training. They don't do anything right. They don't make any money. They're still buying the product every month. And that's where your true passive residual comes from. So I run into these people all the time, and they're saying, well, listen, you know what? And I go, listen, tell me what your last 3 checks were from your companies that you left. What are you talking about? Tell me what your residual income is. I don't get a check from them anymore. Oh, really? Because you're focused on recruiting. So when you went from this company to the next company, you got a raid and call everybody in the other company to come over to this company so you can make that upfront money. So then the company gets mad at you and they terminate you. If you build a loyal, satisfied customer base, then the companies that you acquire customers for will continue to pay you. Because you don't have a need to go after the reps in that company. Are you listening to me? So if you bring in people on the customer side first, and you'll read all the old guys will say this over and over again. The best distributors, the best reps, the best affiliates in any company are loyal, satisfied customers that fell in love with the product. When they love the product so much, the company almost has to be like out of their mind, which a lot of companies are. And what they do is because of ego and money and greed, they'll change the product. And when they change the product and the loyal customers don't get the same feeling and the same response that they used to before, man, then the company falls apart. So I just want to tell you how important customers are. A couple of quick updates, all right? First of all, I remember this saying from my mentors. Do you guys realize that almost every company on the planet, almost every company, that 80% of all the employees are there to support the 20% that are out getting customers? Do you realize that if your company loses their customer base, you don't have a job? That's how important customers are. So when you look at companies out there from Verizon to all these mobile companies, all these cable companies, Dish Network competing against DirecTV to your cable company, all of them are fighting 24 hours a day to get you as a loyal customer, to try to lock you in. And if you don't got customers, the company's gone. Example, Kodak. You know what I mean? Lost their loyal, satisfied customer base. Blockbuster. These companies do not change fast enough and quick enough. And when you lose your customer base, You are gone. You are toast. So now let's bring it up to some of the stuff that you guys may or may not have heard of. And I don't want to get into the political stuff of this, but recently the Federal Trade Commission has come down on a very large network marketing company that is doing over $200 million and done it consistently over the last 2 years. Now, when they shut that company down, here's what happened. Not only did they shut the company down and they threw out what they believed, they get to accuse you or accuse this company of wrongdoing. What they said is, A, you're selling large packages of product. People do not need that much product. And people are going, well, wait a minute, people can get big packages, not if they're paying $100 or $200 a month in auto ship. See, they're saying, listen, you cannot go out and grab a bunch of college kids, make them buy big packages of product, and then make them pay $200 or more a month to continue to get a check. You can't do that. It's wrong. And they're saying, we don't believe you have any satisfied customers. So this company went out and hired some pretty powerful lawyers, and they were able to, for the first time, I don't know if a company's ever had this happen, but they were able to get the restraining order off the business because they were able to prove that our product's got scientific documentation, our product is awesome, our product's got loyal customers, and they said, okay, here's the deal. We're going to let you open back up, but we're going to have a guy that's going to watch over you, a watchdog. And so here's the first thing that they did. They went in and it said, you got to drop the packages. No more packages. Okay. 2, we're going to send a letter, an email, and a letter to every person that's on auto ship. And we're going to tell them that there's no longer an incentive to be on auto ship. We're going to tell them that they do not need to buy product to get their check. So you already told us that they're loyal, satisfied customers, so this should not be a problem. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but it's a problem. It's a huge problem. Because people love they always make their maximums the minimums. So if someone says, hey, you know what, BJ? You only have to spend $25 to get your check. Okay, $25. Hey, you need to spend $300 to get your check. Okay. See, so now they're telling people you do not have to have any amount of product to get paid. So now we're going to see what happens. They're trying to open up right now. Then right away what ended up happening is that the merchant accounts found out that this company was being sued. So the merchant account companies now stopped doing merchant for them, e-commerce, shut the whole company down, and now they're holding all their money because they believe there's going to be a bunch of chargebacks for people that want their product back. Their money back because they no longer need to buy that much product to get their check. Ouch. Ouch, ouch. Last part. Get this part. Now the people that are making large checks inside of this company on an individual basis have to come into the company and listen closely. They now got to prove that over 51% of all their volume is coming from loyal, satisfied customers and not people that are buying product because the company says if you don't, you're not going to get paid. Wow. So, we'll get to see what happens. This company gets, their day in court. Unfortunately, like all lawyers, and government officials, it might be years. It might be years before we see what happens to this. But I can tell you right now, this has sent a shockwave through the whole affiliate direct sales network marketing industry. They gotta change the way they do business. They got to change. Now, here's an important thing I want to share with you. When you really look at the companies out there that are huge, I mean huge. I don't know if you just seen where they had a big thing on Mary Kay, and you got these network marketing companies that say, no, we're not network marketing. We're direct sales. We're not network marketing. You know, they've been trying to do that. But bottom line, what happens is when everyone has to show that they have more customers than reps that are not inside the compensation plan, there's going to be some companies that you're going to be seeing that got to change the whole way they do business. Me, I'm not bragging, but I don't have to change the way I do business at all. I love getting people to be loyal, satisfied customers. I've done it for years. I will continue to do it. And it's fun to see the whole market now change to getting back to what's most important. So the end of what I'm going to say in this Periscope is, what do you think's more important? Having a group of distributors in your group that all of a sudden when egos happen and politics happen, and you get these people, you know, people are people. They love drama. They love, politics. They love all this stuff. And I got people that come to me all the time. They go, I'm leaving the company because I don't like my upline. And, the company said this to me, and I didn't get praise and recognition, and wah. They don't know why they're doing the business. The only reason they should be doing the business is for them, for their family, not for somebody else. You know what I mean? But they lose their mind. You hear about all these top leaders that go from company to company to company to company. If you don't feel appreciated and the company's not taking care of you, they're going to go. What if one of these people was one of your leaders? What if you worked really hard for 4, 5, 8, 7 years? And had these big leaders in your group, and you're making all this money, and then the company makes stupid decisions. They do things wrong, and your leaders leave. See, that's devastating to your income. Devastating. So if you build a loyal, satisfied customer base, and everyone you bring in now, all of a sudden you're not looking for the big giant salesperson, the, Tommy Hopkins 13-step guy. You're not looking for the people that are, Glenn Gary, Glenn Ross, and coffees for closers. See, you're not focusing on that small 5% of Green Beret salespeople, closers. What you do is you get people to fall in love with the product, and they fall in love with the product, and you can't shut them up. And now if you can find a company that's got a very simple, easy way of acquiring customers with no money, and you also can be in a position where you actually give them money to try the product. What a concept. And so you got to focus on companies now that are focused on building customers. And if they're focused on building customers, then guess what? Now, if the leaders decide to leave, the customers keep buying the product. I've seen this phenomenon 4 times in my career. 4 times in my career. And the companies out there have more customers than they have distributors. When they have more customers than they have distributors, then guess what? The distributors don't get to run the show. They don't get to run the show anymore. The base of the product, how the product is, how it takes care of customers is the most important thing. So that's what you got to look for. So I really, really appreciate you guys watching this Periscope. I hope you got great information. But long-term passive residual income comes from loyal, satisfied customers. You got to learn that trade. See, in direct sales, network marketing, online marketing, all the stuff, people do the wrong things. Guess what? If you own a dry cleaners, you're focused on satisfied customers. If you got a pizzeria or a restaurant, you're focused on loyal, satisfied customers. Every other business, auto mechanic, working in a shop, you got to make sure you have loyal, satisfied customers. And you want them so loyal and so happy that they're using word-of-mouth advertising, which network marketing used to say was their biggest thing. See, we pay out high commissions because we use quality people like you. But you got to be a loyal, satisfied customer. So I've watched this phenomenon happen in my own company. You know why? Because people got in. They started going through the personal development. They got all excited. Oh my God, this is the best stuff ever. And they believe in it and they start seeing change. And so you can't shut them up. They do videos for me. They post them all over online. They are so excited, man. I can see it. I can see it. And then they stopped going through the training. They stopped applying the training. And they actually started going back exactly to where they came from because they wasn't working on them in their mind anymore. So now if they're not working on them, they're not applying what the mentorship and training is, then guess what? They actually see their checks and their results going backwards. When they do, they stop believing. And when they stop believing, they stop promoting, they stop talking about it, they stop posting, and they start going backwards. See, the thing about personal development, working on you more than anything else, is you always got to stay plugged in. That's our product. The product is you. The product is you. So you got to work on you every day. And Jim Rohn, Tony Robbins, every top person in the planet, including me, say that you got to work on you harder than you do anything else. So find customers. You're absolutely correct. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you very much for the hearts. I really, really appreciate you. Have a very blessed weekend. I plan on doing one tomorrow, and hopefully it won't be so late. But I just, successful people do what unsuccessful people don't. I had to jump on here and do it anyway. So take care. God bless, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.